It's 12 minutes after 7 now. In 2015, the Ghana Prison Service launched the Efiase project. This is a 10-year strategic development plan to serve as a trust fund to reform and rehabilitate all 43 prisons in the country. The project also hopes to create awareness on the deplorable conditions of the prisons and solicit support for the rehabilitation and expansion of our prisons. Over a year after it was launched, what is the state of the projects? We've got the chairman of the Prisons Council, Reverend Stephen Wengam, and he's going to give us all the answers to the questions that we're going to ask. But I would love for you to also put questions to him. He would love to answer those. So send me a question or a comment on 0560 800,000. Reverend Wengam, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mama. Good to see you again.
Yes, good to see you too.
Right.
Efiase is more like part of us here at Joy News. So it's always good to talk to you. So this project, how much have we been able to raise so far?
Thank you very much. After a year of launching the project, I can confidently say that in terms of cash, we're able to raise 264.70 222,264 cedis, 70 pesos.
Okay.
Then we have expended or spent 115,088 cedis, 23 pesos.
Okay.
The surplus in the accounts is 177 cedis, 46 pesos.
Okay.
Now, that is cash. But if we are to put the value of the other material donations that have been received, of course, we'll be hitting into thousands of dollars. And I guess as the discussion goes on, I'll be able to brief you on some of them.
But essentially, it's the cash that we need, right?
Yeah, we need the cash and also material donations. And because some are not comfortable giving you cash. Some, based on what they do, they will say, we'll give you this, we'll give you that. For us, anything that will help us decongest the prisons, improve conditions in the lives of the inmates, anything that will make the life of prison officers better, anything that will contribute to changing the mindset of Ghanaians about prisons, it's more than welcome. Efiase has a three-pronged approach. The first is advocacy and sensitization. And I think for that one, we'll score ourselves 105%. We've been able to put the Ghana Prison Service on the national agenda. Everybody's now talking about Ghana prisons. We've been able to bring the issues to the fore. We thank people like Kwame Boateng and other ambassadors we appointed who are doing a yeoman's job. We thank media houses like Multimedia, who have been our major partners in trying to bring our issues to the fore. The other aspect of Project Efiase has to do with fundraising. And about 3 months ago, I launched an SMS short code that is MTN 9050. And as you watch us, you can grab your MTN mobile phone and type any of these words and send to this number. That's only 1 Ghana cedi. If every Ghanaian should give me 1 Ghana cedi, even MTN subscribers alone, we can get over 1 million cedis, and that can do a lot for us. Type any of these words, prisons, plural, Efiase, PS or PF, send to 9050, and that's only 1 Ghana cedi. Then the other aspect of Project Efiase has to do with promoting public-private partnership. We have lands, we have cheap labor, we have other things we are prepared to offer. Okay. And therefore we are calling on the public, the private sector to come on board. We'll enter into a business agreement, and when we make some profit, we share it. And that is what has made other prisons outside Ghana what we all yearn that ours become like.
So one of the many worries of people, if I contribute my 1 Ghana cedis or whatever it is that I have, is it going into the consolidated account, or this is coming to a special account?
Good. It is going to a special account called Prisons Reform Trust. Prisons Reform Trust. There are 3 signatories. Myself, the chairman, the acting director general of prisons, and 1 other council member who is the chairman of the Project Efiase Planning Committee.
Okay.
And every expenditure is approved by the council. Before we launched Project Efiase, I made a promise to Ghanaians that in the spirit of accountability and transparency, 1 year after the launch, we are going to present audited accounts to Ghanaians. And I fulfilled my promise. About 3 months ago, I launched this book, or the council launched this book, 200-page report on Project Efiase, our activities, how much has been raised, audited accounts. Page 133 has the audited accounts of Project Efiase.
Okay.
Every dime that was collected. We have names of all those who donated, where the donations have been, were sent to. What we did was that the auditor also followed up to audit on the material donations.
Okay.
He went to every station to ensure that if we said this computer went here, it actually went there. And this booklet has been sent to all the embassies, government, everybody. People are very excited about this. And a friend of mine in the US who got a copy said, look, if what you guys have done in Ghana, if you were to launch this thing in the US, you would have raised millions of dollars by now, because you've shown leadership, you've shown that you guys are credible and accountable.
So the monies that you've spent so far, what have you spent them doing? Very good.
For example, if you go to Koforidua Central Prisons, the condition there is terrible. The cells, the cells are leaking. It is terrible. So we have to release some money. They are fixing the place right now. We also organize capacity building for senior officers. For many years, our training school has gone to a halt. Because of low budget allocation, we're supposed to have 2 training schools, 1 for superior officers, 1 for junior officers, but we have only 1. So council organized a capacity building. We invited Professor Stephen Adai and others who came to take them through very important topics. And I mean, those who participated were so inspired and so happy. Some of them said, Chairman, I've been in the service for 30 years. I've never had any training. I'm just depending upon the knowledge I had 30 years ago. Now, apart from that, we've also been able to, some of the donations that come to us, you have to move them to the 43 prisons. And we use some of the money to take care of that. So I would say that this is what we've used the monies to do. And apart from that, other material donations that came in, we have computers. Almost every region benefited from the computers. We had medical supplies from 3M and C based at East Legon. They sent us some medical supplies. The Lodina Foundation, the First Lady, sent us some medical supplies when she visited in Sawam. We've had 10 sewing machines. We've also had educational materials costing 50,000 Ghana cedis from EPP books and several others. As I speak now, we've gotten some drawings ready for a hospital. Again, we use part of the proceeds to take care of that. Okay.
But in the stories, that, for instance, set files each time on the prisons, we see that the prisons are still congested. So what's the plan specifically to decongest the prisons?
Mama V, you will agree that an institution that has been neglected since its inception over many years, you can use 1 year to fix it. And again, the contributions are trickling in too slowly. Again, I don't blame Ghanaians, because it took a while before we could it took a while before we secured the SMS short code. You understand? And that's why I'm appealing to Ghanaians and the corporate bodies. They should come on board. People who are paying debt, who are not paying attention to us. Look at what happened to our friends who found themselves at someone recently. I mean, I don't think that day when they left their houses, going to that radio station, they ever dreamt that they will find themselves at someone. And again, I'm saying the same to corporate leaders, CEOs who are watching, listening to us. We've been talking about Project Efiase. Many are paying deaf ears to it. I pray you don't wake up one day and find yourself at the wrong side of the law. Then when you come face to face with the situations that Kwame Boati and co, and have put across, then we begin to bite our fingers.
But if this is so important, then why is government not releasing money to fix this?
Government alone cannot do it.
We understand. But at least with all the exposés, one would have expected that government would step in big time, or you put a lot of pressure, as in the council, on government to put some huge money to do something from the beginning. Then people can pick up from there.
I don't speak for government, but to be fair to government, for example, When the council paid a courtesy call on His Excellency the President, after presenting the state of Ghana prisons to him, not too long after that, the government gave us 77 vehicles. It has never happened before.
77 vehicles.
Vehicles. Then we invited President Mahama to visit in Sawam. When he visited and he saw the remand population where they were living, he quickly promised. And government has released 50 million Ghana cedis. If you go to Sawam now, we are building a remand block. The council paid a courtesy call on the Minister of Finance because our locations and others had delayed, and Honorable Setepe was very magnanimous, and monies which are due us, which were locked up for months and some for years, are being released. You understand? So the point is the government alone cannot fix it, and that is why we are saying that every Ghanaian is a stakeholder. Most corporate bodies are now preparing their 2017 budget. I'm using this platform to appeal to them to cover prisons.
But in terms of priority, what is most important to the council concerning the prisons?
If you ask me what is most important now, I think we need to decongest the prisons. We need to expand infrastructure. And then we want to build the prison hospital.
So if government, for instance, is giving vehicles, and I'm thinking, why don't we tackle the issue of decongesting? They bring money for expansion or build new prisons instead of give the vehicles. Are the vehicles equally important?
Yeah, the vehicles are very important, again, because we need to transport them to the courts. You need to move them around. You have to transfer prisoners from one place to the other. We have farms. We need tractors. We need everything. But what I would say is that, for me, what is very critical now we need to do is to support Project Efiase. If more funds can come in, look, we had a council meeting about a week ago, and we're preparing our budget for next year. It's obvious that when it comes to capital-intensive project, we need a fund like Project Efiase. No two ways about that. And I'm again using this platform to appeal to corporate bodies, religious bodies, to come to our aid. The prisoner today is your neighbor tomorrow. You understand? And even
or your neighbor today is your prisoner tomorrow.
Perfect. It's your
or
prisoner
even
tomorrow.
you, the landlord, today, you could be a prisoner tomorrow.
Perfect. So why are Ghanaians turning deaf attention to these calls we are making? And this council are proving that we are very accountable. We are people of dignity and respect. If I should give you the profile of the council members, Ghanaians will not worry and fear about committing resources to us.
Has anything changed about the amount that we give prisoners for their meals every day, or we're still paying the 2-something pesos?
No, we are still receiving 1 Ghana cedi 80 pesos. In fact, we made an appeal to government where we are hoping that next year's budget.
But this was an appeal that was made a long time ago. Well, that's one of the things that we talked about.
1 year ago. That was about a year ago.
Long.
Well, but we're in 2016.
So it's still less than 2 cedis.
Oh yes, still less than 2 cedis. So you can imagine the quality of food that we give these inmates. Taking away their freedom alone is the worst punishment. Anything beyond that is inhuman, and posterity will not forgive us. Nelson Mandela said this, that don't judge a country's development by the people, by the quality of life lived by the people on the street, but by the quality of life led by their prisoners. So the state of Ghana prisons is an indictment on all of us, and I think that we need to come together immediately. The international community are responding amazingly. We've been to 22 embassies. We've been to 31 corporate bodies. I don't sleep. I wake up in the morning and we are moving from one organization to the other. For some, it will take a while. Some of these organizations, when you're pushing for public reforms, or it takes a while for people to come on board, to buy into, to trust what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm confident with the promises given that entering into 2017, we are going to see remarkable improvement in our prisons.
So just like what happens in the church when there's a program, I know that with this one, some people made pledges. Tell me everybody has redeemed.
Not everybody, obviously. But I can confidently say that about 75% have redeemed their pledges.
Okay.
Yeah. What we are concentrating on now is the SMS short code. If we can push it, and if every day we can urge Ghanaians donate 1 Ghana cedi to a Prisons Reform Trust.
Okay, so
and
that's
as I speak now,
9050
MTN 9050. 950.
Okay.
And type any of these words: prisons, Efiase,
as in prisons, all caps.
No, I think small caps will be safer.
Okay.
Prisons or PS.
Or you can just simply just type PS.
Yes.
PS.
As soon as you send it, that's only one Ghana city, and then they will send you a reply message.
So I'm trying. So
you.
9050.
9050.
Okay.
Good.
And I'm sending it to PS. 9050.
Perfect.
Okay. And I'm going to read the response. Okay. So messages would like to send a message to 9050. This may cause charges on your mobile account. All right. Send. Let's see. And I'm doing this so that we can all, if you all would pick up your phone right now. Okay, so the last SMS sent cost 1 Ghana cedis. All right, that's it.
And that is flexible.
Okay.
You know, or you can decide that you want to feed a prisoner every day. 1 cedi, 80 pesos. So you donate 2 cedis every day.
Okay.
And that will go a long way to help us, raise enough money. For example,
I've got a response. Let me just read it. Thank you for contributing to the Efiase project. Contribution cost 1 Ghana cedis.
How do you feel, Mama V? I'm sure you feel fulfilled.
No, 1 cedi is still very small, but you know,
see?
if I can wake up every day and do this, that would be cool.
But you can do 5 a day. 5
Oh,
cedis.
so the least is 1 cedis, but you can go beyond that.
You can go beyond that.
Okay. Okay.
You can go beyond that.
Okay.
And I want to commend Scania Ghana Limited. About 2 weeks ago, received the biggest donation from the private sector.
Okay.
They donated a 61-seater bus, custom made for prisoner transfer, costing 175,000 euro.
Wow.
Kudos to Scania Ghana Limited.
Huge.
And this donation has brought a huge relief to us because we didn't have a big vehicle that could convey prisoners from one prison installation to the other. And so this is going to serve that purpose. So I'm appealing to other automobile companies to emulate their good example.
So this bus is going to take prisoners from one prison to the other?
Yes.
Okay.
It will be at the headquarters. Anytime we have to move prisoners from one facility to the other, they will call the headquarters. They will release this bus. But it's only one for 43. Can you imagine? How will it serve our purposes effectively? So we need about 10 of these. 10 of these for each of the regions, and that would have gone a long way to ease the challenges that we are confronted with. It is doable. I mean, we've seen companies and private individuals, philanthropists pump millions of cedis into other things, but I think it's time as a country we turn our attention to the prisons. Matthew 25:36, Christ said that I was in prison and you didn't visit me. For those of us who are very religious, I will appeal to all to come on board to support this worthy cause.
I've seen the prisoners do some work outside. Can any person call on the prison service to get some prisoners to come and weed their compound or their farms and things like that?
Yes, it's possible, but I think it is heavily regulated.
Okay.
It is not. Of course, we can meet. If everybody should come on board, it will be difficult. But I'm sure that if you're able to put up a good case, depending upon the location, other things, because we're a security agency, we're able to. But of course, you pay.
So I think the people that I've been seeing, they will be the juveniles because of the area where I see them work.
Okay.
No, I see them work because it's usually
it depends. Where you have juveniles, I mean, once they are prisoners and they fall within a certain category, we're able to bring them around to to work. That's fine.
All right. So how many people do we put in the prisons every day?
It will be difficult for me. I don't have the figures here.
Okay.
I don't have the figures here.
But do we know, like, as of today, the number of people in the prisons?
Yes, we have about 15,000 inmates over there.
15,000?
15, and that is very low as compared to many countries. In fact, anytime we've been to certain embassies or I've been to certain countries and I interact with their prison authorities, they commend Ghana.
Okay.
That it looks like the crime rate here is quite low.
Okay.
But we still want to beat it down. We want to get to a point where we can reduce it to hundreds.
Okay, so the issue is we don't have a lot of prisoners, but it's the way the prisons are, the congestion, it makes it look like we have so many prisoners. Okay. Because the place is very small, so we always see them packed.
You're right. Okay. And again, you see, it's because of our our perception about prisons. And that is why this council has been pushing for us to change the name from prison to corrections department. Because even the name prison has some negative connotation. For many years, we felt that the prison should be a place of torture and torment. Everybody who goes there is a criminal. So we've not committed resources to improving conditions there or building prison facilities. Most of our prison installations were old castle forts, dungeons that have been converted into prison facilities. So going forward, we are pushing that we should begin to build prisons, proper prison for, at least build them such that they can serve our people, because we're supposed to reform and rehabilitate them. Go to Kumasi Central Prisons. The area is very small. They don't even have a place for recreation. They are locked in there, and I think that we should be able to do something about it. Our 10-year plan, which we launched along Project Efiase, will address all of that.
Okay, and that also comes with a plan to build a hospital. Perfect. So how far with that?
Yes, we have our drawings ready. We have the land. We are waiting for the money.
Okay. So where's the land? Is it one hospital, or you're building hospitals in every facility?
Well, for now, we'll start with one, and then Sawam. We've been able to appeal to government. Government has given us go ahead. For the first time, we are employing. Okay, the second time, I'm told that some time ago they had a doctor, but because they couldn't provide the tools for him to work, the doctor left. We made an appeal to government to Project Efiase. Government has granted our request. We are about interviewing a medical doctor. So we are serious about building a prisons hospital. An argument again is this: the police keep people for not more than 48 hours. The army, they don't even keep human beings. We keep 15,000 people and we don't have a hospital. It's a shame. And I want to appeal to everybody to come on board, philanthropists, churches, religious groups. 2 days ago, we paid a courtesy call on the chief imam, the council, to seek his wisdom and blessing for Project Efiase, and to ask him to appeal to his people to come on board to support us. He was so enthused about Project Efiase. He endorsed it and promised that they would do everything possible. We paid a courtesy call on the Governor of Bank of Ghana, and they have also shown interest in the project. So we are working very hard, and I'm confident. I want to believe that by the close of next year, we should be able to start. Probably if you're able to have laid the foundation for the hospital.
So you've got your plans ready, you have the land, you only need the funds to raise the structure.
Ghana should give me the money, and we'll put up an ultra-modern hospital that will come and add to the many hospitals in Ghana, and will not only serve the prisoners and the officers, it will serve the community as a whole.
So this doctor that you're just about interviewing, is he going to be interviewed for the hospital that's yet to be put up, or you want to attach him to Nsawam?
Well, first he'll be recruited as a prison officer.
Okay.
And then, of course, he'll be attached to the hospital.
So you don't have a prison officer who is a doctor?
No. We don't have a...
Amazing.
Oh, yes, 43 prisons. Our infirmaries are nothing to write home about. Another thing this council is doing, we've put together a committee, and they are doing health needs assessment. We are going to launch the report very soon. We were amazed at some of the discoveries, which will be relevant even for governments and the private sector. And all of them are geared at helping us meet the health needs of the Ghana Prison Service.
All right. Okay, so just before we wrap up on this, I want you to kindly remind viewers how they can support this project.
I want to remind viewers that Project Efiase has come to stay. It is the best thing that has happened to the Ghana Prison Service. We want Ghanaians to own it. We are committed to implementing the aspirations enshrined here in our 10-year plan. This is Project Efiase 1-year report containing audited accounts. We are accountable. Now, you can walk to any of these banks, EcoBank, Royal Bank, or go to Unibank and say you want to donate to Prisons Reform Trust. You don't need to know the account number, any amount. Or better still, you can send an SMS to MTN 9050. Type any of these words, PS, PF, or the word prisons, or Efiase, EFIASE. Do that only one Ghana city, and you'll be making a commitment to helping us transform our prisons.
Are you going to come up with this booklet every year?
Every year, we're going to come up with this booklet.
Oh, okay.
And this booklet contains pictures, evidence of what we have done, and I mean, I will leave this copy for you.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm sure that you'll be inspired, you'll be encouraged to
Do
know
you
that.
pay your ambassadors?
No.
Okay.
It's a voluntary work.
I'm just clearing that up. Thank you very much.
You are in the
Reverend
pipeline.
Stephen Wenger.
I'm going to appoint you as an ambassador.
Oh, even
because
if
you
if I don't have the title, I'll still do the work.
Already.
So don't give me the title. I'll do the work.
Thank you, Mama
Thank
B.
you so much for being. But there's something happening in church as well.
Yeah,
I saw this huge billboard with you on it.
Oh, yeah, that is Jericho. Yeah, we're having a program at the La Trade Fair.
Okay.
With Prophet Emmanuel J, the Unique Floral Dome.
Okay.
That is tomorrow, 5:30, and Saturday. It's called Jericho Ghana. Very powerful program. We believe in God, that God will visit Ghana. We're going to pray for the elections and minister to the needs of people. But Cedar Mountain Chapel just turned 6. We just finished our 14 days celebration. It was awesome.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Glory to God.
All right. Thank you very much, Reverend, for being here. Stay with us. When we come back, we're talking about a good man, a man who didn't just live for himself. He lived for the entire community. He put up 2 clinics up north, a place where people would usually not even accept postings even when they're being paid. But sadly, he's passed on after all the good works that he did, after treating people for free. He's passed on. How are we remembering him? Dr. David Abdullahi. We're speaking to his family, and we have a piece on him to share with all of you. Stay with us.